Aloha, Chairwoman Luke and members of the committee. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come before you. Since the demise of our sugar industry on Hawaii Island, our people have relied on the hotel industry for jobs. Our visitors are already being taxed for county services through the TAT, and our counties are not receiving our fair share from that TAT to cover those costs. So as you're all aware that we had to raise our property taxes this year. Rail is a city and county of Honolulu project that the neighbor islands should not be responsible for, as we don't expect the city and county of Honolulu to be responsible for projects in our county, at our county level, and on the neighbor islands. So visitors and guests who come to visit the island of Oahu, this current bill has them double dipping into their pockets, because not only will they be paying for the GET surcharge, but now with this bill, as it currently is written, they will be also paying the TAT. I just want to ask that this bill not be passed as is, and we get away from the attitude of take it or leave it, because we all know that you have that capability of making a change, amending it, extending it, giving our taxpayers on the other islands the opportunity to weigh in. This is such an important bill that affects the outer islands, and we have never been given that opportunity for you to come over and allow us that. I just want to say in closing, and I'll wrap it up. I just want to quote Earl Rigador, a guy who grew up in the same plantation village as I did in Powillo. And he posted on Facebook. I'll wait for that to stop.
Chair, please summarize.
I will summarize, but everybody else was given the opportunity for that to be turned off.
Oh, no, actually, it continued, Chair, so please summarize.
Oh, okay. I'll just speak louder. He posted on Facebook, and I quote, "Mahalo to those who said no. I cannot see us penalizing those who help put food on our table, our hotel guests. Someone didn't do their homework. I ask any of you to have some courage to please just do the right thing. Please, I give you all of my aloha. I ask that you take what I have testified here with a heartfelt consideration for all the people of this beautiful place we call Hawaii, our aloha state. So please find the aloha in your heart. Time doesn't go anywhere. We do something right now, it'll affect us. The unintended consequences of millions of dollars that will affect the outer islands, and that will cost the poor people their jobs. So please, I ask you, do not act on this bill as it is. Aloha.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I wanted to ask questions of, is Mela Raposa still here? Did he take off? And the lady, I think she's the chair of the Hawaii County Council? Yeah. Okay. And Mr. White.
Please proceed.
Thank you. So, while you're coming up, I expressed to my colleagues when we were having discussions about this, I think it's a very dangerous precedent to set where we begin talking about how much money is collected from one area and spent in another area. I think the benefit of how we have the structure now for our state is that the money flows to the neighbor islands largely from the commercial center, and that is Oahu. And what I hear, and I'm disappointed to hear that, is this continual false narrative that A, we're raising taxes on the neighbor islands. We're not. That's not true. The neighbor islanders, the citizens are not paying for this unless they live in a hotel. And yet leaders on the neighbor islands are continuing this false narrative somehow that we're raising their taxes. And so that's not true. But then the upsetting thing is that then start using talking points that we shouldn't have to send our money to you guys without any realization, it seems to me, or self-reflection that there's a lot of taking from the pot that doesn't contribute to that pot as much as you may think. And if you want to, that's dangerous. If you want to go that route, be careful what you wish for. So my question is this.
Well, can I respond to what you had said?
Well, let me ask the question.
Okay,
my question is this. Be careful what you wish for, because are you saying now, so that next year, I'm on finance, when you come before the finance committee, you're saying now that you think the money should only go to those areas where that money is taken from? Is that what you're saying?
I never said that, and in my testimony, I have never alluded to the fact that you were using the TAT and raising taxes. I've never said that. I never said it in my testimony. I've never said it to any of the people that I represent. I have told them what the TAT is about, and I think for us to have this dialogue at this very late date when you guys have to make a decision by Friday is very unfair to the islands. You guys should have had an open door to the public, open transparency to have this dialogue. Now we're at this point and you're trying to pin us one against the other, tit for tat or whatever it is. I'm just saying it's unfair that we are now being put on the spot at this very late moment when we were not even included when they were crafting this bill. And our island, like our Congresswoman Hanabusa had stated, we owe it to the taxpayers so that they can understand. A lot of them don't understand.
That's right. And
right.
That's why I'm bringing this up, because people keep continuing this false narrative that if you continue this line of argument, it's suggestive that somehow we're taxing those people, and we're not.
Right. And I have never made that statement that we're taxing the people. I've said how it trickles down and affects our working class when it comes to jobs. So can I ask...
Well, I'd like to hear Mr. White. That's the same question, because I don't think you want to say that, but it seems to me the narrative that you're projecting is, hey, the money that we raise through tax revenue should stay here, and maybe the money that Oahu creates should stay here, because you guys are going to lose in that proposition, and I don't think that's right.
Val, I'm sorry earlier that you had to talk over the alarm. The other chairs did not have to do that, so I apologize.
Thank you.
So just quickly, sorry, I had notes written down. You guys did have to look at you raised your property taxes recently on Hawaii County. And how much additional revenue did you generate by that increase?
I don't have that numbers with me right now. I could probably pull it off of my phone through some notes.
But when you gave your testimony, you had mentioned, because that state amount went from, it was $10 million less to the counties, 18.6% to Hawaii Island would have been $1.8 million, and I believe that was not the amount that you were short. Like, it was more than that, so you would have had to look at increasing revenues.
We would have to look at increasing property taxes as well. I was just saying that with the TAT, lobbying for more than the 103 could have helped us stop, we had to balance the budget. If we had more, we could have balanced the budget and not have to go and tax real property tax. So that, and people know that because they know what we talked about, because everything that we do at the county level, we're governed by the Sunshine Law. So it has to be, everything has to be discussed in public.
And then, so for years now, on the various bills we've had for rail funding, which include GET, and this is before, when it wasn't always you, but somebody from Hawaii County and from all the counties usually comes and testifies in support, because through HSAC, you guys all support each other. But really, because the GET surcharge does affect neighbor islands, you're here advocating for something that impacts your own constituents. You kind of, it seems to me sometimes, not just you, but like all the county chairs and county council members get a set of talking points that seem to be handed down from Oahu and like go march it out and say these things.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit, so I mean, I guess the thing, and then you are struggling with your own budget. We look at our property tax rates on Hawaii Island, they're double what people are paying on Oahu. I mean, does this ever get discussed at the county level when you're talking about if you're going to come here and support, and, you know, I mean, not that you have to oppose the rail tax
well, for me,
increase,
and I cannot speak for the other council members, and I'm sure they would feel the same, I go to my constituents. I have meetings. I have over 25 community associations that I deal with within just my district, that I hear from people, that I attend on Saturdays and Sundays and evenings. I mean, you know, I leave a picture at home for my husband so he doesn't forget what I look like. You know, so I dedicate myself to the community. So I've been hearing that in social media. Unfortunately, social media, we all know it creates a perception. But we all create perceptions. Even you all create perceptions. That's why the people come up and post on social media some things that may or may not be true. And a lot of times I'm trying to clarify that for them. Sometimes I got to eat humble pie and apologize.
But I guess my question was, and I understand, of course you talk to your constituents, but I don't think that people are generally aware of the impact, the surcharge, of the impact of the GET in general, but the impact the surcharge has on Big Island.
I agree with you. Everything that you're saying, Nicole, Representative Lowen, I agree with you. Everything a lot of you have said, I agree with you. We need to take this information to our taxpayers. We're relying on Facebook. We're relying on people calling my office or calling each other and creating this wild forest fire. Why? Because we have not vetted this bill properly. As important as it is, we have not given it to the people to understand.
Okay. I understand the concerns about feeling like there's just not enough time, but as far as creating a forest fire and putting posts on Facebook that get people really angry and headlines in the paper, I feel like that is not coming from this side of the room.
And the headlines in the paper, whatever the paper, the editor decides. They'll spin the perception. They got to sell the papers. That's just how it is.
Yeah, but no, my point was more when you've come over here in the past to give support, you or whoever was the legislative person or the chair in the past, and have supported the rail funding bills on behalf of City and County of Honolulu, has it ever bothered anyone that our constituents are helping pay for it, and that the city and county has been unwilling to look at increasing property taxes 1 cent to help fund any small piece of this project, while our rates are double, while we were paying more on Big Island for a second home than somebody on Oahu pays, the other way around, paying more for our first home than a person with an investment property on Oahu pays.
And we need to have more discussion on our council. However, we do have discussions on council through HSAC and our HSAC representative who brings the issues to our council, and we do vote on those issues and how do we want to proceed through when you have your, the legislation.
Mm-hmm. So, I think HSAC is important, and it's important for the counties to work together, but it's important for us to work, for the counties, and people on island to work together as well. And I feel like there is, right now at this point in time, the worst relationship there has ever been on all the neighbor islands because of this, and because of what is being handed down, from City and County of Honolulu. And
I agree with you. I would love to see a better partnership from our legislators with the Hawaii State Association of Counties. We work hard at the county levels to bring something together and then decide as a body of HSAC to come forward. And it seemed like, and again, it's a perception, like you say we are creating a perception. The legislators have created a perception that we mean nothing and be very disrespectful. I felt disrespected up here, but that's okay. That's how it goes. But you gotta be fair. because we both create those perceptions. But at one point, who matters is the keiki, the future of our people. So we got to watch how we behave. We have this law called aloha.
All right. Thank you, Val. And
Thanks.
sorry, Chair Raposa, I think I'm going to just stop there because I know other people have questions. So thanks.